here today to talk to you about charism and a Franciscan charism. First of all, I want to define our words so we understand. Charism in Christian theology, in general, denotes the flow of God's love to humans for the building up of the church. As we look at charism in religious life, God has given, during different times, in different situations, a spirit of inspiration to respond to the needs of the times. Charism in general is God meeting people where they are. And the Franciscan Charism is that love of God coming to us through that love relationship of Jesus Christ. The Franciscans have been given the gift of the evangelical life. That's our rule, following the gospel of Jesus. And it is following that rule of the gospel of Jesus that we come to encounter our Lord Jesus Christ and the cross and the nativity. These are very Franciscan ways of coming to know the person of Jesus, by coming through the events of his life, because nothing is accidental. And it all reveals to us his love. And it is in this relationship of love that we come to understand who we are and the gifts that God has given us, the goodness that he has put in us, and the goodness that he has put in others. And we are to acknowledge that goodness and respond to that goodness and to reach out to those who are struggling in pain, in difficult circumstances. The way we do it is by following the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience for a specific purpose, so that we can be like Jesus. Jesus was poor, born in poor circumstances, had nothing of his own, so that is why poverty is essential to our way of life, because we want to respond to the image of Jesus. Chastity, Jesus' life is based on love, and that's what chastity is, a life based on love, beginning with the love of God. Obedience, to doing the will of the Father, to looking at our world and to see what God is calling us to in this time to respond to. Our way of life gives us that freedom to respond to what is needed, just as Jesus responded in his times to the people for what they needed. And it is our love relationship with him that has us go out and share that love to all humanity, whatever circumstance we find them in. We've been blessed with our new Pope, who has picked Francis of Assisi as his name. So we look to Francis as a guide of how that charism is to be lived out, reaching out to the poor and the forgotten, the lepers of our world, challenging those who are using authority unwisely to remember what is essential, the love of God and the love of others, and of living in a life of simplicity so that our actions are not based on meeting our own wants and needs, but responding in perfect charity from realizing that every good thing comes from God. That is our Franciscan charism. That is what we seek to live in our lives, even poorly as we do, to respond in love for the supporting and building up of the church and God's people.